What is up, NerdzGotWordz Universe?
Hey, you
What's up?
It's your boys here at NerdzGotWordz Universe, and you know, this time we're diving into the DC universe.
Yes, we are. This is uncharted water for us.
We are witnessing the Batman being remade for the 20th time.
Yeah, El Batman.
La Batman.
You know, and it's just the general question on everyone's minds. Did DC finally do it right?
Yeah.
Can we finally move on from Batman?
Did they actually do it right for once?
Did they
One time?
Did they screw it up again? Do we have to witness Bruce's parents dying for the 70th time? That man has probably the highest kill count in all of comic book history. Was Robert Pattinson the perfect fit for The Dark Knight? We're about to talk about all this and more, and let's just get right into it. The initial ratings. Adrian, how did you feel going just from the trailer just right into the film?
From the trailer, it's DC. So
It
was DC.
It was
First of all, let's
DC.
just say it was DC. So I thought it was just gonna be like once is good enough, and like I would just forget about it.
Yeah.
Just like how I did with Suicide Squad the first one.
Yeah.
But no, that was my general thoughts. I was like, I wasn't expecting too much. My expectations weren't that high. Everyone like who saw like an early screening of it was kept saying like, oh my god, it's a good like comic related movie. And I was like, you're probably just a Batman fan.
It's hard to rate DC because, the movies you have to compare it to are not exactly the crown jewels here.
No.
Some of them, like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, I would even dare throw Shazam in there.
Mm-hmm.
They were good,
They were good.
but they were not
Man of
great.
Steel.
Yeah. Oh, definitely Man of Steel, Dark Knight. Like, they have some good movies in there. But was this movie good when you compare it to DC films? Or are you comparing this, was it amazing as just a movie in and of itself? Now, for me, I love DC, okay? I love Marvel, I love DC. DC has a lot of potential, but I hate DC because they need to get their shit together. In all honesty, it's really frustrating as a fan when I'm trying to connect, like, oh, that's Batman. They redo one every time they make a movie. Now, interrelation to Spider-Man, we have Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and now Tom Holland. Mm-hmm. You're not saying, oh, which one's Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. It's like Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man.
We don't even have to worry about that anymore because the last movie, they're all Spider-Man.
Exactly. Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man and Tom Holland is Spider-Man. Like, Batman, it's like, okay, we got that guy, that guy, that guy, that. It's like, we have Christian Bale, and then it's like, okay, how does everyone compare to Christian Bale? Let's be honest. We've also had Ben Aflack in the span of when did DC come out? A few years ago, give or take.
Yeah.
He left right after the movie ended. He announced he was leaving. So it's like, okay, now we have to build up this character again. Mm-hmm. But me going into this movie, I definitely agree with Adrian. I give it a once is good enough. I don't care how amazing everyone says this movie is. It matters to me how amazing it is. I don't care what everyone else thinks. And I just was curious to see what they would do, Everyone knows the story of Batman. Like, Batman is DC's most told story. It's like, how could they change it up in a way where it's still interesting and also make Batman himself good?
Yeah.
And so what did you think about initial rating?
I mean, like Ryan said, it's DC. I love DC, but then I hate it at the same time because they're not consistent. And Batman is the poster boy of being passed around and everything like that, because it's basically a revolving door.
Literally.
like, oh, this guy's Batman. Now this guy's Batman. Now this guy's Batman. Now he's Batman. Like, stick to one guy, DC. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's not essentially their fault. It's more for there's too much pressure on the actor.
Either way, like, if you're the actor, own up to being Batman. Like, yeah, I'm Batman.
There's
So what?
Studio's problems sometimes, not the actors.
Yeah, exactly.
They push for too much and then ends up being too much, and it's not good.
Yeah, and even then, when they picked Robert Pattinson to be Batman, I was just like,
I was a little skeptical.
I don't know how this is gonna go, because I saw the trailer at first. I was like, okay, so Bruce Wayne's gonna be emo.
Yeah.
Got it.
Noted.
But I was like, you know what? I hope he proves me wrong. I really hope he proves me wrong. So, I mean, my initial rating was gonna be like, once is good enough, meh.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just hope he proved me wrong. That was my thought process going into it.
So, let's just dive right into it. Like, Robert Pattinson as Batman. Did the vampire boy play Batman and Bruce Wayne good enough? Did he play it, like, was he just overall a good Batman? Or did he play it well enough that, like, the plot kind of carried him into making him as Batman good? And for me, I'll just go first. So, initially, I was like, okay, really? We're having Twilight boy here do it? Now, no disrespect to Robert Pattinson. Like, I think he is a good actor. It's just, let's just be honest here. Playing Batman is almost a career death sentence. It's like playing a character in Star Wars. If you suck, like, good luck trying to get something else.
Yeah.
In all honesty. And so the fact that Robert Pattinson put his career on the line to play this role, I can kind of respect. And in an interview, I believe he talked about how, like, seeing Batman when he was a kid made him want to be an actor. So I feel like he really tried his hardest to play his role. Initially, I thought it was pretty good. Like, when he came out of the shadows as, like, Batman, I was like, that kind of looked like Batman to me a little bit. His physique was there, which is kind of like the main issue, like, especially with Shazam. It's like the fake muscle. I was like, okay, come on. Yeah. I was like, okay, come on, dude. But, I feel like it was there, and his whole, like, presence, like, he comes from the shadows, and first off, his voice was way better than the other guys, like
Ben Aflack.
He was like, I was like, Jesus, I was like, drink of water, dude. But yeah, I think his Batman was pretty good. His Bruce Wayne, they touched more on the Batman than the Bruce Wayne, and I feel like that's what made Robert Pattinson a better Batman. His Bruce Wayne was acceptable. It wasn't crazy. I feel like Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne was just like, that's Bruce Wayne. However, his Batman sucked. But this one, they kind of put, like you said, an emo perspective, and I just really feel, I like how they still had his childhood trauma, and that was pushing him to, like, become the Batman rather than him just being already established as Batman. Because they already established him as Batman without establishing Batman. It's like, everyone knows, like, he's for vengeance. He's just beating people up to, like, get some anger out. And then later, towards the end of the movie, he's like, no, I can't just beat these people up. I need to be, like, a symbol of justice. And we see that change in, like, the last, 10 minutes of the movie?
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of put, like, a good taste in my mouth. It really hit home, and I was like, okay, good. Because even Ben Affleck's Batman, he was just beating the shit out of people. And as much as I love someone getting their shit beat out of by Batman, like, it was a bit excessive.
Yeah.
What'd you feel, Adrian, about Robert Pattinson now that we actually saw him on screen as Batman?
He caught me off guard. I was surprised. I was shook.
Dude, you can't deny, like, seeing comic Batman, Batman and animations and stuff like that, like, Robert Pattinson, low-key, kind of looked like animated Batman.
Animated Batman.
In a way.
Yeah.
And his suit was fucking sick.
Yeah, his suit was really good. I really like the design on the suit. They symbolize his little bat symbol.
Yeah.
Supposedly being that those are the same gun that the murderer killed his parents with.
Yeah.
So I was like, I thought the whole design was great. He was great. In the end, I actually really enjoyed what he did as Batman. I did enjoy the times as him as Bruce Wayne too, because this is year 2 of him being Batman. That's what he said in his little Dear Diary. So it shows that it's still taking, like, a huge toll off of him. So that explains why he's, like, in that mood, that little emo phase. Because he's like, I feel like shit, but I've evolved into a nocturnal animal. So this doesn't affect me. I'm getting used to this shit.
Yeah, and then what Riddler said in the prison, where it's like, no, Bruce Wayne is the facade, like, Batman is the real you. And I feel like that was kind of, like, the key point of the movie, we barely saw Bruce Wayne, and that's because he's not Bruce Wayne, he's Batman.
Batman, exactly. And that's what I liked a lot, too. We saw a lot of just Batman. Even when he was Bruce Wayne, I was like, nah, you still have that Batman face on, even without the mask, though. So that's what I really enjoyed. His little dark side, his cause and effects, his reason of why he's doing this, the reason why he thinks he can make a change. him finally figuring out that it's not just, oh, I can't use brute force to like change this whole city, even though the city is just full of brute force.
Yeah.
I was like, there have to be a certain kind of symbol to be able to change this city.
Yeah, it's like, the city's full of fear. I can't put the fear in the people that put the fear in others to change the city. I have to be a symbol that the people, like, when they see me, they could feel safe, not just be like, oh, shit, you know?
Yeah, exactly, because remember the very beginning when he beats, like, those weird makeup people spaces? The civilian was actually scared of him, too. You were, like, telling him not to hurt him. I was like, that just shows you that people still fear him just as much how criminals fear him.
Yeah.
Although some criminals don't even give a fuck. Like the twins. the twins from the security guard.
Those are great. Those guys are great.
It's like, you like seeing this guy? Well, give him again. We got another one of the same one.
So, yeah, it just shows a lot. It shows a lot in the movie, like how serious Batman is and how he's gonna change later on in future films if they make more, which I hope they do, because I think this movie does deserve like a sequel to it. Because we saw so many villains in just this first one, and there were some like
there's Catwoman, kind of anti-hero type.
Yeah, and then there's
Penguins in there. There's Joker shows up at the end. Like it's setting up to continue.
And then there's also like smaller things in there shown, like the drug he used to give himself that power boost.
Yeah.
So like at the very end, supposedly that's like Bane's venom serum, whatever he calls it. That's probably what it is. And then they were talking about Hush, that other villain, because the reporter that found out about Bruce's dad and all that crap, supposedly he's like, he has a son, and then his son becomes Hush. So there's all these small little details in there.
Shows up, like, gives us more crime family involvement and not just villains. Like, they put a lot into this movie without overwhelming us. So what did you think about Robert Pattinson's Batman?
You know what? He proved me wrong.
Yeah.
I'll say this. He proved me wrong. I thought he did a really good job as Batman.
Was it to Christian Bale's level?
No, absolutely not.
But I don't think you should be even comparing the two anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, DC fans are almost as bad as Star Wars fans.
Like,
the reason why these actors leave their roles is because there's so much pressure, like almost career-ending pressure put on DC fans for them to like it. And now, it's not all DC fans, but loudest dog barks loudest, essentially.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
It's like the one with the most people, like most clout that complains.
Yeah. I will say this. When it comes to Batman, from my personal point of view, you have to play a good Batman and a good Bruce Wayne. That makes, you have to do both equally as well.
Yeah, it's like you have to play heads and tails of a coin. It's like
you have
to do both good for the coin to be good.
For me, Christian Bale did that perfectly.
Yeah.
With the other guys, like George Clooney played a good Bruce Wayne. I know I'm going back a long way. George Clooney played a good Bruce Wayne. He did okay as Batman, but not like, he didn't do terrible, but he didn't do great either.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck, we already know what the heck happened there. He was an excellent Bruce Wayne. But Batman, just Jesus.
Well, that's because Bruce Wayne's facade is just kind of Ben Affleck's normal life.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way.
Playboy billionaire. But Robert Pattinson, I did call it though. He did make Bruce Wayne emo.
Yeah.
And
in this movie, he was going through some shit. Like, he was still dealing with, like,
the loss of his parents
trauma,
and everything like that. And, like, that ultimately drove him to want to become a better Batman.
Yeah.
Which I can respect. If that murder case didn't go solved, like, I'd want to find out who killed my parents, too.
Yeah.
You know? But, I mean,
he's got the money. Like, all he needs. And, Alfred trained him, and Alfred's the GOAT.
Yeah, Alfred is the GOAT.
So,
like, whoever plays Alfred, he's just amazing. But
it's the same guy who played the crazy guy in
Black Panther.
Yeah. Claw. There we go.
Yeah. Which I was kind of surprised.
Which is so weird seeing him like in the last.
I'm like, wait a minute. Every time I see you in movies, you're like a jerk.
I'm
like, wait a minute. Now you're Alfred. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I can
go on
board
the whole
with
difference
this.
of him being like calm and like trying to help out Batman, Bruce.
Which kind of brings me to an interesting topic. I've noticed that a lot of Marvel characters have switched over to the DC universe.
Main villains though, like past dead villains. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like not mainly heroes, but it's always a villain. And it's funny because he's a villain in Marvel, but then he's like some good guy side character in DC.
Yeah. And then again, he did die in the MCU too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that would make more sense to why he's still there.
Hey man, with
They're
multiversal theory, who knows? Like until Kane is dead, who knows who will come back? But to stick back with
But yeah, no,
DC here.
But yeah, no, Batman as a whole, Robert Pattinson did a very good job.
Now, in my opinion, here's why I think his Batman is like even more better than like others is the fact that the directors, everyone decided to focus more on Batman than Bruce Wayne. In all of these movies, we have like 50-50, like we have a higher ratio of Bruce Wayne appearing. And
Ben Affleck's, it was more like 75-25.
yeah, but in this movie, Bruce Wayne kind of appeared just when we needed him to. Like, you know, it wasn't just Batman doing Batman things progressing the story. It was also Bruce Wayne, you know, finding stuff out just because he's Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. You know, like finding out his parents, you know, got killed with the whole thing, you know, like Falcone and all that stuff. Like, Batman would not have figured that stuff out. It was more like Bruce Wayne just doing Bruce Wayne things. Like, and they kind of flipped his script. You know, Bruce Wayne's some playboy billionaire. Meanwhile, he's like also the Dark Knight. This one, he's kind of like a recluse. Like he's enclosed. He doesn't really go out to social events. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. He is more the Batman than Bruce Wayne, and I feel like that's what makes Robert Pattinson's Batman really good. But for me, what will finalize him as Batman is if we have like a collab movie, or if we see more of him as Bruce Wayne later on.
Yeah.
I assume later in the next film with him as Bruce Wayne, if he stays. I really hope he stays. You know, the replacement thing would have to restart it again. I really think that he's did a great job, and I really think he's good enough to stay. Like I have no complaints as him staying. But when we get him like in a team up movie, maybe when Justice League actually is done right this time later on, maybe we'll see him more of Bruce Wayne, but more of a less emo, more like, you know, he understands himself. He's confident with himself. There'll probably be some emo shit going on.
Like I said, like at the very end, he started to see a difference that he had to change in some way to be a better Batman. So we're obviously gonna see some kind of change in him in future movies.
Yeah. Either way, though, it's gonna be weird to see like if they bring back like Jason Momoa's Aquaman and the original Wonder Woman, the original Cyborg, and everything like that. They're obviously gonna bring back the original Flash, which I have a separate rant about, but we'll get to that. It's gonna be weird to see Robert Pattinson's Batman in there, because it's a new Batman, you know?
I think they're going to sort of remove that sort of love interest with Wonder Woman. I think Catwoman's going to be a thing. I think they're going to imprint Catwoman into the story.
Hopefully,
probably.
That's a new
I like that. I like that relationship. You know, like the whole thing where it's like human with the god it's A-okay. You know, would I mind Batman with Wonder Woman? Not at all. However, their whole relationship's a bit annoying. It's like, oh, they really like each other, but they don't date because of this reason, that reason. It's like, it's building up more reasons why they don't go out.
Yeah, it's just more of a will.
It's annoying.
It's more of a will they, won't they thing.
Yeah.
It's more like they won't.
But regardless, you know, Robert Pattinson, you know, we all agree he did a very good Batman. His Bruce Wayne, I think, was good, but, you know, we need to see more. And if we don't see more, then that's okay with me, you know, because his Batman's good. Yeah, his voice is fine, and he looks a little bit more like Batman.
Yeah.
You know, briefly, I just want to take a slight tangent off, but we're still in the DC realm, and complain about why DC sucks.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. By all means, go ahead.
Now, I've said this countless times in other videos, but now that we actually have the chance to talk about a DC film that's actually pretty good, I can talk about why this movie was good in comparison to others. Now, why does DC suck? Like, in all honesty, in my opinion, it's because they do a hero-driven story. Now, Marvel's heroes are a little bit more cut and dry than DC heroes. Marvel's, it's like, you know, they're more humbled. Generally, not all of them. Obviously some of them are kind of whack jobs.
Yeah.
But it's like Captain America, he was a good soldier, he did this, he became Captain America, he's still that same soldier. Like, Bruce Wayne has, his parents are dead, he has more, like, traumatic experience with that, and...
Especially since he saw them die right in front of him.
Right, and but more importantly, it's like, Tony Stark is Iron Man, everyone knows Tony Stark's Iron Man, Tony Stark still does Tony Stark things, and Tony Stark still does Iron Man things, and they're the same thing, A lot of people know, like, Thor as Thor, like, it's just the alternate persona that DC tries to throw into every character and also tries to throw into every movie, kind of makes it hard for an actor to play both roles. It makes it hard for, like, the character to do things. Now, I think why I like this movie a lot better than a lot of the other ones is Batman was kind of driving the story, but the Riddler was, like, driving him to drive the story. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Riddler was a perfect villain to restart Batman on. Joker, he's crazy because he's crazy. He's gonna kill that dude across the street just because he wants to. Riddler, he's gonna kill that dude, but he has more of a reason, and his reason is he likes fucking with Batman and, like, challenging. It's like kind of like a
challenge.
It's kind of like a mental battle of wits. It's like, are you gonna catch me before I do this, or am I gonna fool you again? And I really like that dynamic with Batman. It's because he figures out the riddles, but he's still too late to stop the crime.
And then the other thing is that with this Batman film, it gave us what he's actually also good at. Being a detective.
Yeah.
So this movie hit a lot of those detective skills in this movie. Compared to, like, all the other ones.
He's DC's greatest detective.
Because if you
Everyone
notice
knows
that some of the medical examiners and the photography people, every time like Batman looked at something, they went to look at it, like, oh shoot, we missed that.
Exactly. And then how many other, like, Batman films have you seen, like, him doing detective work?
None, man.
Exactly.
And that's a good point. It's like this movie hit a lot more skills that Batman has that some people might have not really noticed, like,
or forgotten.
Yeah, it's like, why does he need to be a good detective if he's a billionaire and he could beat everybody up and stuff? It's like, no, he needs to be a good detective because he needs to figure this shit out. Mm-hmm. Like, Riddler was a perfect villain. The Batman Joker saga, it's one of the best sagas, but it's been washed, repeated. Like, it's like, how many times can you wash a black shirt before it starts to fade? Like, in all honesty.
I'll chime into this conversation too. To your point, DC is honestly, in my opinion, known more for its villains than its heroes.
Their villains are way more interesting.
Exactly, because they actually have a compelling and interesting backstory that makes you, like, think, like, you know what? I can see why that this person is the way that they are. And honestly, with the heroes, they flip them out so many times. It's like it's hard to, like, keep the audience engaged and wanting to care about, like, the character,
Yeah,
because all the other Batman films or anything related to Batman, it's just him just punching people, action scenes, and then he took off his mask. Now he's Bruce Wayne telling jokes or saying how
being
rich
a billionaire,
being a billionaire. This new Batman, he's like, when they kept telling him that the company needed to meet up with him, talk to him, I was like, what are you gonna if you keep skipping on these things, you're gonna lose everything and your whole family legacy is gonna be ruined. And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm Batman. I was like, fuck that shit. I don't need your money.
Yeah.
So he didn't really care.
One big issue that I think DC they just don't understand is that backstory on their alter ego is really, really good in a comic book setting because you have basically full control of the narrative. Like, if something could have made it bad, you'll just erase it, And in a movie setting, you have somewhat of that control, but it just sometimes it may look good on a film, but sometimes it just doesn't click.
It's a hit or miss. Sometimes.
Yeah, you don't. Like, I like their. I'm not gonna say. I actually really like their alter egos. I like Bruce Wayne, Batman. I like Superman's alter ego as being he likes being a newspaper man, even though he's never there. Like, how is he not fired? But I like their alter egos. But I do think that they need to slightly tone it down and only insert it when it's needed. Like, just in, like what this film did, which I thought was really good.
And another thing, their TV shows and their movies, like, why aren't they the same characters? Like,
in all honesty,
I don't understand.
Like, when you watch Loki, you're not going to be like, wait, what the hell, that's Loki? No, that's Loki from the movies. When you watch WandaVision, that's Wanda and Vision from the movies. When you watch, there's like 9 seasons of the fucking Flash, and yet when you see the Flash in Justice League, you're like, who the hell's this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, he's the Flash because he ran fast.
Yeah,
God,
it's like, who's this guy? And then you see the Lightning when he runs, is like, he's Flash?
Like, an underrated show is, I think it would be a little bit too long, but I really like Green Arrow. And the actor that plays Green Arrow, I think, does a really good job.
Yeah, but
when they do a movie,
DC's track record, when they do a movie, they'll do it somebody different. Yeah. Like, consistency, DC. Please. Consistency.
Why can't the C in DC mean consistency? But yeah, like, why do we have to just constantly try to establish a relationship with the character when they could just pluck them right out of the TV show where people already established them as, like, the Flash or the Arrow, like Supergirl? If they do a Supergirl movie, they're gonna have, like, a different blonde chick. I'm like, who the hell's this?
Yeah, like, no offense, other DC fans, but I like the TV show Flash better than this Flash. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. I like the Flash that we have right now from Justice League only because I like the way he plays as the Flash.
Yeah. He's not a bad Flash, but at the same time, it's like you're at that split mind where it's like the Flash from the TV show, and then now we have this guy.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Now, where else do you think they can improve Adrian?
In this film?
No, just
like
DC as a whole.
Listen to your fans. Honestly, read more into the comics because sometimes they're just making a film to make a cash grab, and that's it. And
like every Batman versus Superman. That is the dumbest fight ever. I don't care how much of a billionaire Bruce Wayne is. A guy that can fly around the planet faster than you can get to your car will be able to defeat you. Like,
exactly.
I'm sorry. The whole basically a god versus man. It just needs to be done.
Exactly. But no, they just need to work on more of that stuff instead of thinking just the money. They should really think about the story.
Yeah.
Because if you make a good story, you make a good film. With a good story, a good plot, everything, you make a pretty good damn movie. And that's what this one did.
Exactly.
It had a good story. It had a good plot. It made sense. Every time when we kept watching, I was like, oh, he finally caught him. This is where it's like maybe 5 more minutes and it's done. But no, there was still another plan behind him getting caught. Like, it all leads up to something. And all the leading parts were actually great. And it's what made me like the movie.
Yeah, it's like there's always a bigger picture within the big picture. It's crazy. Like, this movie was crazy. Like, Batman's like, we got his bitch ass, we're done. And it's like, no, you're not done, because little did you know that he the guy that he killed in the first murder, he actually saved that weapon for you to lift up the rug to find the bombs. Like, what the, like what the fuck,
I still thought it was weird that there was a random piece of rug right there. I was like, that's awkward to have, because it's literally in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you just get a mat? But no, you find out that it was a clue.
Yeah, but there was just so much in his room to distract you from that simple concept.
True. But literally, I just walked in and I was like, that's obviously suspicious that I've done that.
Yeah. And another thing, just to end the DC rant here, why it sucks, is DC does not have good equal representation among their characters. In Justice League, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, who are like Aquaman bulletproof, he can survive bullets. Wonder Woman can throw a dude across the fucking across a house, no problem. But when they were in Justice League, when they were fighting that guy that wasn't even Darkseid, by the way, it's just one of his guys, they had to be like, Superman, he's a problem again. And then he had to fly in, one punch, sock him across the battlefield. Like, why they show so much emphasis about how strong Superman is? We all know it is. But it's like, it's essentially Batman and Cyborg could do nothing against this dude.
Exactly.
And Wonder Woman and Aquaman were just there to babysit while Cyborg and Batman did their thing to defuse whatever the bomb or whatever was happening.
Yeah, it's like they literally needed to revive Superman and bring him back to life just to beat this guy. That's not even Darkseid.
Now I understand Wonder Woman and Aquaman together not being able to do shit like someone like Darkseid, needing Superman to be one of the only ones that can stand against Darkseid. That is okay. But this is this is just some guy. Like, you're telling me Aquaman and Wonder Woman can't beat up together just some dude? Like, come the fuck on. I know Apocalypse is full of strong fighters and stuff, but you're telling me a fucking Amazonian and a guy with a golden stick that he didn't bring to that fight for some reason.
Like, come on, you can't beat him.
That consistency, like, dude, Endgame, Infinity War. You know, I don't know. Stop comparing it to Marvel. Who else are we gonna compare it to?
Exactly. There are only other reference points.
There were so many more characters in Infinity War and Endgame than Justice League, and we got to see each character shine. We got, Vision was like, get the shit out of me, but but besides that, we got to see every character shine. Each character, we got to see each character kick some ass.
Yeah,
and it's
we got to see Peter Quill fuck up.
Yeah, and when you have Justice League, which is the whole 90% of this movie is fighting, how do you make like essentially 90% of this movie useless without Superman? Yeah. Like, I thought their whole point of when they brought back Superman, I kind of liked it. He was evil. I was like, this is pretty good. And then he changed his ways when, they kind of brought his boot thing, I guess. But, it's like I liked that they needed Superman to help them win, but I don't like that they really needed Superman to carry them.
Yeah.
And that's where I'll end on that. But
there's other movies that are just as bad, but we'll stop there.
Yeah, like, this is the Batman. This is not why DC is trash. So let's move on. We kind of touched on it before we went on like a little slight tangent of why DC can improve. But I felt like that was really important because
it was important to
address. We care about DC a lot, and I want them to succeed. I don't want the hero game to just be the Marvel game. Because it's just like, who are we going to compare? I'm getting a little bit tired of comparing all hero movies, even ones that aren't DC or Marvel, to Marvel.
Yeah.
And I would like some DC. Like, DC has good villains and stuff. Like, I just want them to do better.
I myself, I'm like, I don't really care either way. I'm more like on the Marvel side because of consistency, but I'll go watch a DC film because like their heroes and villains are cool. I'm just a superhero freak.
Yeah, Marvel's villains, it's like, not all of them are batshit crazy, like Thanos. It's like wiping half the universe because of resources and stuff. He could have selected people. It was all random. It wasn't just him he was thinking about. It was like the greater good in his mind. And to an extent, I was like, you know what, Thanos?
You're right.
I see your point.
Yeah.
However, it wasn't morally right in the end, and that's why they had to stop and shit like that. But Joker's like I keep saying, it's like, I'm fucking kill that guy because I want to. Penguin is like, this guy is messing with my plan to make $20, so he's gotta die. Yeah. So, anyways, like the Riddler. So going back to the Batman, the Riddler being the villain, and the plot as a whole, it's like showing Falcone, and kind of just the whole premise of it's like a villain within a villain within a villain. Mm-hmm. And so, what did you guys think about Riddler?
I think the actor was pretty good at it. He actually gave me some creepy vibes when you first see him. Like, without the whole Riddler mask and everything. I think he was a little ridiculous when he was, like, performing with the mask. And I was like, I can't take you serious. but you're doing some crazy shit, though. Yeah. But when you see him for the first time without the mask, you just look at him. He's like, that guy's a fucking psychopath serial killer. I was like, I don't want to go into the coffee shop with him.
Yeah, like what you said during the movie, like, Jesus Christ, fucking Jigsaw.
I was like, oh shit, fucking Jigsaw.
Yeah,
I was like,
when the guy in the rat cage agent was like, it's fucking Jigsaw, and I was like, yeah, it is.
So, like, I didn't mind that. I thought that was genius. All these, like, the way he played these riddle games with Batman. I was like, for the Batman. I was like, I thought it was great. So, honestly, Riddler himself was honestly a great character.
That's what he does. It's like he likes fucking with Batman. And when we see him again, I assume we're going to sort of remove, now that he's met the Joker, I think it's going to remove his like social justice aspect and just be crazy because he's crazy. Like, I think that's where the Joker influence is going to come in.
Right.
And I liked the aspect. I liked that Riddler was doing fucked up shit, but in a way, it was like his way of bringing issues to light,
Yeah,
showing corruption with the city.
Basically. At the same time, was he really a villain? a full villain. I mean, kill people. Yeah, I guess that makes him a villain. But
I'm sure Batman's killed people.
Yeah,
too, like.
but at the same time, he was just doing it to like bring out people into the light, the corrupted people in Gotham.
Yeah.
Which you find out that I was like, shit, it's a mayor, it's some people in the Gotham.
It's like the
police department.
DA, it's like the
DA.
commissioner. I was like,
Yeah, everyone was in it, and Riddler was like, tired of this.
yeah. I mean, it's not some guy. Like, it's not fucking Martinez. Okay, it's like some fucking dude. Which, by the way, if Martinez ended up being the Riddler, that shit would have been so funny because
Honestly, that would have been great.
Martinez.
That
Would have been hilarious.
He wouldn't be Riddler. He would be Senor Riddler.
No, if he was the Riddler, he would have got law instead of L correctly.
True, you're right.
But yeah, like the Riddler, he was crazy. In the comics, he's not crazy to that extent. But then this is the beginning of his arc, and I'm assuming Joker is gonna have some influence and to turn him from less of a for justice, like for the actual right, to I want to do shit just because I want to do shit. And I think that's where Joker's influence is going to come in. But yeah, to your point, the person that played Riddler, I think, did an amazing job. He was crazy. Like I said in the beginning and also on our Instagram, like the use of social media kind of bringing the Batman arc into the 21st century, I thought was really good. I don't know how the fuck Instagram didn't block his account. Like we get flagged for like a 20-second song, but he's like, I'm gonna kill this guy, and then Instagram's just like,
oh, okay.
the Instagram's owner's like, I don't really like, I didn't vote for that guy anyways. But yeah, so what'd you think about the Riddler?
I honestly thought it was refreshing to see Riddler as the main villain.
God, if Joker was the villain, I would've been like, bro.
I'd be like, again? But yeah, no, I thought it was refreshing to see Riddler. He did look weird in the mask, I'm not gonna lie. He kind of looked like Scarecrow, if we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, he's Scarecrow. Yeah, that is true.
But, I mean, he kind of had like a psychopath, like, vibe to him, along with the classic, like, Riddler thing, like the riddles and everything. But I mean, the
riddles were good too.
They really were. Yeah.
Like, for him playing as Riddler and getting those riddles, they're actually really good. And then I also enjoy the fact that like Batman would just hear it once, he's like, he lies, or he lies. Like he got it instantly. I was like, that makes sense.
It's like he got it instantly, but he was still too late to stop the crime.
Yeah, they were.
That's like their whole main dynamic with Riddler and Batman. I think they really hit home with that point.
Yeah, they were so good that I didn't really get any of them, but that says very little. but no, I also liked the fact that they added Falcone and Maroni.
Yeah,
as well. Although we didn't really see Maroni, which kind of leads me to the next movie.
Yeah.
Is like, are we actually going to finally see who Maroni is? But I love the actor that played Falcone.
Yes.
I love his work.
If there's anyone that you can have to play a nonchalant asshole but not sounding like he's an asshole, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Like Falcone, I don't know, it's just when he talked, it's like his words were just like, you kind of just had to respect what he said no matter what he was saying. And Falcone was just like, fuck that guy. But the fact he said fuck that guy made me be like, yeah, fuck that guy.
So,
like, it was crazy.
He asked me to take care of him and I took care of it.
Literally, like you said, it had more mafia vibes in there.
Yeah.
At the same time, that's kind of what Batman also does, takes care of the mafia.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a villain within a villain within a villain. It's not just Batman having to deal with Riddler. It's Batman having to deal with Penguin. It's Batman having to deal with Falcons. It's Batman having to deal with random acts of violence.
It's the side quest for me.
It's literally him. It's like Riddler's the final boss, and he's just doing the side quests so that when you fight the boss, you're just extremely over leveled and just kick his ass.
Which is basically what happens in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but in the end, he fucked up because he forgot one side quest.
Yeah.
But no, that's basically it.
I mean, the Riddler it wasn't just Batman discovering these people. It was like Riddler was kind of guiding him to these other people. And
even then, Penguin was amazing. I love Penguin. I don't know if we're gonna talk about him.
We're getting into him next.
Okay, good. I'll save it for then.
To end off on the Riddler, I think one of the best points that might have been overlooked was the fact that the Riddler's house, like where he lived, was right there the entire time. And it's like, how does he know about all this stuff? How does he know that how does he know the mayor goes there, etc. He lives right there, dude.
You know what should have gave it away? That he was literally right there. The first pictures with the mayor.
Yeah.
We never considered that because you saw that he got the pictures.
He had that upper angle,
and I was like, oh, he probably took him up on a roof or something. But no, he was literally right there off a window.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, how did you not see that? How did we not see that?
And one more thing before we move on to Penguin, I will say this: that in past movies or TV shows, like Penguin had an obsession with Riddler, or vice versa. In a lot of those things,
it's impossible to have Riddler without.
Yeah, they're like a package deal. But in this movie, it's kind of like they didn't even know who the hell like each of the other person was,
Right.
And I kind of like that,
I'm assuming
it's a good change of pace.
They don't know each other yet.
I talk about consistency with DC, but I talk about change of pace. You know, hey, sue me.
but yeah, to end off on Riddler real quick, another thing is like we saw his progression from like social justice warrior to social justice warrior. That's crazy. Like the whole cutting off his thumb for thumb drive. I was like, that's funny.
Like, oh my god.
And then it's like they set him up.
He's like, this guy's hilarious.
It's like set him up to do what he wanted them to do. Like upload the pictures. He didn't upload them. He made Gordon. He made everyone else do his dirty work in a way. And that's kind of what Riddler does. And like all this stuff is like his Instagram. You can see as it progressed through the film that he progressively got more like crazier and more obsessed with Batman as it went on, and it was just...
But in the end, he says, like, I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah, and it's crazy, because the Riddler likes challenging him, and, like, cognitively, Batman can challenge him.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to do these jokes to, like, Superman. Superman's like, fuck, I can't just fly over there and beat your ass, I gotta figure this shit out, what is this?
Damn it, don't know where he is.
Wonder Woman's like, I'm stranded on an island full of chicks I don't know, and Aquaman is probably too drunk to even read it. And the Flash is probably going to overlook it or get there in time to stop it anyways. But moving on to the Penguin. The Penguin.
The Penguin.
Oswald Cobblepot.
The person that played the Penguin. Great.
Amazing. Good job.
Good.
Perfect.
The fact that Batman was like, yo, like, tell me what I need to know. And Penguin's like, man, have a drink, dude. Chill out. Like, who the hell? He literally beat up your entire security guard force.
And then he pops up behind you and he's like, yo, I heard you're looking for me.
Yeah. Like, he beat up the 22, come on. But the fact he beat up, like, 7 dudes, got shot at with a shotgun, and still walked away, and Penguin's like, what's up? He's like fucking Hondo of Star Wars. He's like,
nah, it's just business.
Yeah, like... And the fact he literally dealt drugs and collected money right in front of Batman's face and didn't care is like some balls. And that's what the Penguin kind of does. Now, like, the Penguin's story's been changed. Some of it's where he comes from money, which is like a rival family to Alfred's family. And like, there's all this stuff. But this, I like them starting straight from the mob. He always starts off as like this right-hand man that's planning and will become the main guy. Like,
that's what this movie kind of led to him in this movie.
It literally.
At the very end.
And
he's like, I'm
seeing Penguin, you knew it was going to happen, but when? And it took the whole movie, but yeah, it took a lot of stuff happening for him to take over.
But I was still satisfied just seeing him with whatever screen time we got, because he was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Would you have liked to see more? Or do you think it's...
I think at least a little bit more, but at the same time, I feel like that would have just dragged the character out too much, and we might have not gotten... Or we might have disliked him a little bit less.
Yeah, I think it would have made Penguin like as much of a main villain as the Riddler was. Like, when he was supposed to be a side character, he might be the main one in the next one. Who knows?
Maybe, or he's gonna do more side characters.
Yeah, and I like the little caveats that like what you brought up in the movie theater again, Adrian, because you always notice these things right before I do, or you say it as I think it is. Like when they had him tied up and he was kind of waddling like a penguin when he was leaving.
I was like, right, you're gonna leave me right here.
I thought that, but then you said it, and I was like, Yeah. I was like, that's what it was. What'd you think about Penguin?
I thought he was great. He was. I thought he was one of the best characters in the film. Besides Detective Gordon at the time. Detective Gordon, not Commissioner.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to Gordon.
Yeah, but he just added the comic relief to me.
And he also had that short temper that he always has.
Yeah.
What the fuck you say to me? And it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. What are you gonna do? I'm the Batman.
Do you know who I am? I was like, the fuck? I'm Batman, bitch.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know what I'm capable of? And I was like, oh shit. You're
like when he pulls out a gun, what'd you say to me? I didn't shoot him. I didn't do nothing. I didn't shoot. Meanwhile, he probably put out like an unlicensed Mac 11. Like, dude, that's not the problem that you didn't shoot him. The problem is you have
you actually pulled out the thing. Like, come on.
Mac 11.
Yeah. And even when they had him all tied up and everything with the interrogations, like, do you know the difference between L and law? Am I the only one that knows?
Yeah.
This thriller guy sounds pretty stupid to me. That was great.
Because they were calling him, it's like, the whole film is like, dude, he's a genius. And then that little caveat is like, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, Riddler, in a sense, is kind of like the Zodiac Killer in a way.
Honestly,
he sends encrypted stuff.
But at the same time, the way they like dressed him up, it kind of gave me Zodiac Killer.
Yeah,
vibe.
and you know Zodiac. The Zodiac. The reason why some of the ciphers they couldn't figure out is because he spelled words wrong.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the Riddler's just DC Zodiac, and I loved it, honestly. Like the Penguin, I think he served a perfect amount. He was like the comedy relief. He was like the asshole. Like if Falcone's like the nonchalant asshole that can just tell you stuff to your face. Penguin's like the hot-headed temper guy. Like he's angry from inside out. Like he's mad, and I think he was perfect. I assume he'll be a key part in the next one.
Yeah,
and
I hope so too.
I'm gonna assume that if for how great this one was, the next one they do, it might be like a trio: Joker, Riddler, and Penguin, and I would be happy to see it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll be happy to see more films, but I'm just kind of hoping it's different villains, not Joker yet.
Yeah, I don't think they should do Joker.
Like obviously,
like Scarecrow, they should do Scarecrow.
I kind of hope that they do Mr. Freeze. To be honest,
or Mr. Freeze, give Mr. Freeze another try.
Yeah,
that would do Mr. Freeze.
Arnold as Mr. Freeze again, though.
Or Poison Ivy.
Or Poison Ivy, exactly.
Listen, Poison Ivy makes you feel the type of way. I ain't even like, she's a fucking plant, but it's like, bruh.
Yeah,
but yeah, calm down. Like, dude, she's a fucking plant. Chill.
It has potential to like bring in newer, better characters, and the way, like I said, the way how Batman was played out through this, we can get like more of those like detective skill worth Batman villains.
Yeah, and we can get Robin in it too.
Yeah, right? I would say.
I'm telling you, that little boy that kept popping up, which was the mayor's son. I keep thinking that might be Robin.
Maybe.
Because usually in comic books, Batman picked up the first Robin because he saw a lot of him and Robin, and he didn't want him to become what he became.
Well, yeah. Robin's whole thing is because they don't know who killed his dad, but in this one, they kind of know who killed his dad. I don't think that kid will be Robin. I think they tried to make you think he would be, but I think it's just going to be some random kid that comes out like out of left field, and he
someone from the circus.
You know, because Robin, he's a low middle class family. His parents get killed, and it's like he wants to find his killer. And he's, like, doing everything he can, like, getting into trouble. This kid, he comes from money. His dad died. And we know who killed his dad. So that's why I don't...
right.
Maybe, but who knows. But to Penguin's point, whenever Penguin was on scene, it really emphasized the mob thing. You know, Penguin is, like, a king mobster. Riddler's kind of fucking with you because he can. He might have a few followers, but, you know, the Joker, he has a few followers, but he does his own thing. Penguin is kind of like that mob mentality. He's like, he brings in the Falcons. He brings in, like, everybody. Like, he's the mob thing. And whenever he was on scene, it was like, the mob's in it too. It's not just the Riddler. You're like, holy shit. The Riddler's plot, what'd you think about that? Where it's like, he planted shit to, like, sink the city. Like, what'd you guys think of that?
I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, at the very end.
I didn't think that either.
The city. Like,
yeah,
but in the end, it
didn't
was
see that coming.
In the end, it was just to have everyone in one spot where you can literally massacre them.
Yeah.
Which
That-
I thought was genius. I was like, you're flooding them just to get them in one spot and finish them off there.
I mean, okay.
Which I thought was genius. I just wasn't expecting he would have like followers to like help him do this. Honestly, wasn't expecting that, to be honest.
And
It's kind of like Joker vibes a little bit.
A little, but
like,
at the
like,
same
with, like with the first Dark Knight movie.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm just like they kind of just popped out of nowhere for me.
Yeah.
To be honest, like they literally just popped up, and I was like, oh, there's more than one, and then you find out that it's a whole group, and I was like,
Yeah, it's
damn, ignorant people be
I
crazy.
definitely would have liked to seen a little bit more of that. Like maybe for one of Joker's things, Batman catches one of the Riddler's followers there, and it's like, okay, so they're the Riddler plus he has people. It was kind of just thrown in at the end. It's like, you thought it was just me? I got a squad.
Yeah, squad pulling
I
out.
got a boys with a bunch of guns. I don't know how the hell they got all those. Like they,
I
like
don't know
20 guns.
How
It's
the
like,
hell
how the
they got
fuck-
him? But they got him.
But yeah, and it's like, so I really enjoyed the Penguin and their dynamic. It's like they had a dynamic without having a dynamic.
Yeah.
True.
And I really liked that. Now, let's just get to the main woman, the Catwoman.
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 First off, let's just get this out of the way. Goddamn. Anyways, moving on.
give her own show or movie.
Yeah, we're talking about, Riddler having screen time, Penguin. I feel like Catwoman's screen time was perfect.
Yes.
Her character, she killed that shit. Like,
did.
respect to her.
She
She
really
killed
did.
that
She
shit.
did great.
And they had like a little love thing that they always have, and I really enjoyed that.
Which was good because we haven't seen that like in movie wise.
Yeah.
It was
Like I don't even know if you count the first one with the first Catwoman that came out.
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, that was her, right?
I think so.
She-
Yeah,
good in that
and with
one,
also with Penguin in it.
I don't know.
Well, I forgot what Batman movie that was.
No. That was another one. I forgot.
Yeah, where her whole outfit was like sewed together with just leather, and you see like those random stripes on her whole outfit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was a different one.
That
Yeah,
was everyone.
I mean,
that Catwoman was creepy.
Yeah, her costume was cool. Like the woman that played it was kind of cool. Like at first, Batman was all about business. Like, put it on, just do this. He didn't really. He cared about her, but not.
Not
Batman's
fully,
whole
yeah.
thing is like the mission. The mission comes before everything, even
Yeah.
in TV shows, comics, everything. And so it's like, but then towards the end, he started to develop an attachment. He's like, I kind of like this girl, and because Catwoman in general, like in comics and everything, she's a rich girl who steals for like for a kick, for a niche, and what she sells from the stolen goods, she donates to like cat sanctuaries and shit.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
I kind of like the whole Falcone angle, like that's her dad, like
A little
She-
shocked
she's
about
com-
it.
Yeah.
She's
I was
not-
like, oh
I was like,
really?
it's like she's
Damn.
not broke, but she's not rich. She, her apartment looked pretty good. She feeds 7 cats, so she can't be really that poor. But like,
But at the same time, she had an eviction notice though.
Yeah.
Like a late fee notice.
yeah, but
So obviously she wasn't making bank.
she wasn't making bank, but she wasn't like really poor.
Mhm.
And
Like, street
her whole
slums
grudge
poor,
with
yeah.
Falcone and like trying to find that girl. I was like,
Or,
okay.
like, basically, because that was like her only last friend, and I was like, I was gonna take care of her, but boom, died.
Yeah.
So that's what drove her to like.
Well, she
try to
called her baby too. So I mean,
I feel like that's what you. I don't know. I'm
maybe
still
we
confused
got
about that.
Listen,
why Catwoman?
we're
You
3
never know.
dudes. We're 3
We
dudes.
don't know.
We're 3 dudes. We don't know how women work.
Yeah.
Women don't even know how women work. So who knows what was really going on? Maybe she swings both ways, and for Batman, it could have been a 3. But
Maybe.
I think Catwoman, she kind of helped Batman in a way, like
She helped
find
Batman
his
a lot,
humanity.
yeah.
Like before he sees bad guy, he was kind of like Robot. See bad guy, beat up bad guy, move on. Or it was
Next
like
bad guy.
or
Next
it
bad guy.
was like they're bad, so it's like I don't need to treat them with any humanity. Like he
No,
sees them
exactly.
as just as like a
villain.
shadowy villain figure that he needs to take down. Where Wonder Woman was like, not Wonder Woman, Jesus Christ, Catwoman was like, no, like they're evil, but they're still human, and you don't have to beat them until they bleed to be like, tell me what you know. Like, Batman's usual beat the shit out of him. Now talk.
Beat
And
the
they're-
shit out of her.
it's like, now talk. And the dude's like knock the fuck out. Like,
And then at the end, those roles got reversed at the end.
at the end, like, Catwoman was about to,
Ice her
she deserved to be, to ice him. I wouldn't be mad, but at the same time, it's like, no, don't give him the easy way out. Let him go to justice. But then the whole time, Falcon's like, I own this city, bro. You don't arrest me, I'll see you walking out the door. And I was like, damn, he's still badass to the end, man.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you?
He gave zero fucks.
Yeah, what did you think about Catwoman, Adrian?
I liked her. She was great. Great actress, great acting. All the scenes that we had with her.
She's what she needed to be.
Yeah, exactly. Catwoman. It was what we needed.
A lot of these things were like Catwoman's primary role was like to change Batman to who he is now. Slightly. A lot of these things changed, and we kind of saw a slight progression. His whole thing is like, I am vengeance, and now he's like, no, now I'm a symbol of hope. And
citizen protector.
like again, like with Penguin, like, do you think Catwoman's screen time like served its purpose? We'd like to see a little bit more.
I want to see her own movie, her own show, a sequel, a prequel, everything.
Damn.
Like, I'm ready for it.
I agree.
I think she was great. She's like, I think by far the best Catwoman that we have. Even though there's only like 2 other ones.
Listen, it's okay. We're not. She was the best Catwoman. She had like that little sexiness to her, but she also had that little bit of crazy that we like to see. That she had a little bit of everything, and she was just amazing. She was. If like you had one negative about the movie, like there's no way it was about Catwoman.
It really was.
Okay, there is a negative.
Her
fucking mask sucked.
Yeah,
ass.
like, come on.
What the fuck was that? They cover her nose and they're like, who the fuck's Catwoman?
It's like, oh my god, I'm never gonna figure out who this girl
How are we gonna
is.
know who Catwoman is when her nose is covered? Meanwhile, her chin, her mouth, her face, basically her full
It's like,
structure.
oh my goodness, how are we gonna know who this girl is?
That shit
The
was
thing
so
that made
funny.
me laugh about her mask too was that it looks like a beanie mask.
Yeah!
But at the same time, it has like 2 pointy ends to make it look like ears.
It's like, wait a minute. Alright, she's really hot. We can't put on a mask to hide her face. We want to show her full face, but her nose needs to be hidden so that we cannot show her identity.
Yeah. Like,
She's beating ass, and all these people are like, who the fuck is she? And it's like,
are you stupid?
have you looked at her for 2 seconds? Now, one thing I'll go to you for this, Murph, is like, we figured out right away who she was. Batman immediately figured out who she was.
It's kind of hard not to know who she was.
No, like with the whole binoculars thing.
Okay.
What did you feel about that just being immediately taken out? Like, would you have liked some mystery, or do you feel that would have taken away from the movie?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, a little bit more effort to figure out who Catwoman was, as opposed to immediately being like, there's Waldo. Found him.
Found her. No, I would have liked to have had a little mystery behind it. I thought
they have that little play sexiness because none of them know who each other are.
Is like mystery.
Yeah.
This is like who is this chick? And
instead of Catwoman, he's like, calm the hell down, like says her name.
Yeah, it's like Selena, calm down.
Selena, calm down, Selena.
But like,
don't do something crazy.
I would have liked to have seen the mystery. To be honest with you, that kind of took away from it. But I mean, to Adrian's point, I would love to see her own like spin-off thing because she's by far the best Catwoman we've seen. I mean, for me, the golden standard was Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, but she surpassed that.
Like, in all honesty, the Riddler, the person that played Riddler did good. Robert Pattinson did good Batman, but the person that played Catwoman killed that shit.
Yeah,
she was the best person of her character.
Well, let's just say this: for the love of God, DC, get her a proper mask.
Yeah. What'd you feel about that, Adrian? I'll go first. So for
I'll
just go first real quick.
It's like they ran out of room in the budget for a mask. They were like, "Oh shit, we forgot the mask. Let's just cut off a little beanie thing, and then that'll be the mask."
Let's be honest. They probably spent 90% of their budget on in water. Like, California's in a drought because of this goddamn movie.
I was like, damn, Gotham.
They're trying to.
Never be in a drought.
They should have just filmed the movie in Seattle if they wanted rain, man. It's like they filmed New York and Seattle. But yeah, to my point for Catwoman, I kind of like in the movies, it's like she doesn't know who Batman is, he doesn't know who Catwoman is, but he does find out rather quickly, but not really quickly. Mm-hmm. And like they have the whole thing. It's like, you know, they're attracted to each other, but they don't know who each other are. And that was still there. It's like, who are you under that mask? She kept kind of implying, it's like, who are you? I want to know. And I really liked that part. I don't mind him figuring out immediately because that would have just taken more time. Like now, instead of 3 hours, it would have been 3 hours and 20 minutes to figure out who she was. And you know, the whole point was who's the Riddler. It's not who's Catwoman.
Exactly.
And I rather enjoyed that we kind of figured out who she was right away. Because, you know, they still have that mysterious aspect. Because, you know, she doesn't know who he is. And I feel like I really like that.
I like how the that one part where she was naming off the rich, like the rich pricks.
Yeah,
she calls it like Bruce Wayne, and he was just like, oh, really? Okay.
He's like, well, what the fuck, man?
Well, now I'm not gonna tell you who I am.
Honestly.
He's like, what the fuck, man? My parents died. Leave me out of this. He's like, so funny. So, Adrian, what do you think about him immediately sussing out Catwoman?
Yeah, that was funny. But no, like, I'm glad
He's like, gotcha, bitch, right?
I know who you are now. No, I actually like that.
He went creeper mode.
He honestly he did, but that's just part of his. You know,
I mean, he's the best detective. You know, like he immediately sussed her out, and that kind of just took away downtime to build up their relationship. And I feel like him trying to figure him out would have just been more downtime. So you just like that.
I just like the time that she got to like figure out who she really was, what she did. Mm-hmm. So I'm not complaining. I'm glad.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was like, damn, this girl got a lot of cats. Like, 7. Meanwhile, when she leaves, she only takes 1. What about the other 6? What the other 6 cats, dude? Clearly favoritism.
Yeah, she's got a thing for strays, but she let all the other 6 go.
I mean, low key, Batman is a stray. Like, he's a billionaire stray, but she's attracted to him, and I want to see more of their chemistry go on because
he's an orphan.
Yeah. So, you know, let's get into, you know, we talked about Sherlock, let's get into Watson. Gordon. I fucking loved that they were together through this shit. Mm-hmm. Instead of him just be like,
I'll
yo, Gordon! That shit's crazy, let me tell you about this. It's like, no, Gordon's there, and they're figuring out together. Like, the whole thing with the thumbs on. He's like, this is one weird motherfucker. Like, this is one crazy motherfucker.
No, that's what I'm saying. This movie did a very good job of portraying the whole detective thing.
Yeah.
So when you had both Batman and Gordon, it was all detective stuff they were doing, which was great because that's how they were figuring out more riddles from the Riddler. Yeah. Who they started putting more connections, and then when they were playing good cop, bad cop, there was like bad cop and crazy cop.
He was like, "What the fuck is this?"
like, what is this? Good cop and batshit crazy cop.
Yeah, and to that point, it was more, you know, detective. You know, it shows that Batman doesn't need to like beat somebody's ass to a living pulp to get information. He can figure stuff out for himself by just doing good old-fashioned, essentially, police work.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you know, it's not Commissioner Gordon's Detective Gordon, it kind of reinforces of why they're tight, you know, why they're chill and why they respect each other.
And the way they were, like, doing the whole, like, breakdown and everything, they're, like, in sync. Like, you thought it was this, so you try to cover it up. But then, like, they were in sync, and that's what I really liked, because it shows real good detective work and partnership.
Yeah, they're all like, why is he here?
Because I trust him.
Batman's walking around like,
literally,
forgot to take a picture of that. That girl's like, oh shit.
Literally, every time Batman was just walking through a crime scene, he's just like walking. You just hear like his giant footsteps.
Yeah, and one thing that you can say, it's like Gordon's just a detective right now, but the fact that the entire police department like respects him, I would say more than the previous commissioner means that like it shows like damn, dude, this guy's got some clout, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, the fucking chief of police, he's like, Gordon's like, get the hell out of here, I'm gonna talk to him. And you go punch him and run out the door. Like, damn, like, it was crazy.
I still find it more crazy that they didn't try to unmask him when he was still knocked out.
I think that was Gordon.
But yeah, in the end, it was just Gordon, and I guess they trusted his judgment for that.
Yeah,
just to get punched in the face.
You know, you know, it's like showing all these corrupted cops, and then you have Gordon, which is like the shining light of the police department, and like showing that there is good cops out there. Fucking Martinez wasn't corrupt. What was that bullshit?
I was glad. Martinez. But even Batman told him, was like, you're a good cop.
Yeah,
he just walks away.
And it shows, like, dude, you know he's going to be the commissioner. Like, everyone respects him. And then it also shows the police's change from, it's like, we gotta arrest Batman. This dude's crazy, to, you know, like, kind of respecting Batman.
Yeah.
So what did you think about Gordon?
Well, I thought the actor that played him did great.
Killed that shit.
He's the Watcher in What If. I think his voice is going to be like on the level of Morgan Freeman's very soon.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I hold him in that high of esteem. He's such a great actor.
What if Morgan Freeman was Falcone? That would have been crazy too.
That'd be wild.
Has Morgan Freeman ever played a bad guy?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Hitman's Bodyguard 2 recently.
Hitman's Bodyguard 2.
Oh, I never saw that.
That one's good.
But he was a villain?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
He was Ryan Reynolds' dad. And the whole time they're trying to make jokes, and Samuel Jackson was like, but he's black. and Ryan Reynolds keep interrupting. He's like, yeah, an award-winning author, the voice of a god. And Sam was like, no, he's a... That part was funny. But yeah, so back to Gordon over here.
Yeah, him and Batman's dynamic, that was great.
It definitely was Sherlock Watson, but it wasn't just Batman figuring things out.
It was also Gordon.
Gordon was also figuring stuff out
too.
I was like, what'd you get at your notes?
It's like, what'd you get for stealing the homework?
Honestly, it's like it's two smart kids trying to team up to actually get an A on the test, you know?
Literally, I would say, like, to Gordon, like, because I feel like this goes with Gordon, like, to show the early bat signal and kind of a slight emphasis on the bat signal without being too much, like, just enough, like, you know, it brings fear, and then, like, in the beginning it was like the guy's like spray painting broke on the pillar, and he sees it, and then he looks, he's like, he could be there.
Yeah,
so it's like run away and all this stuff, and then it's like the bat signal, like it was like Gordon already doing that, and he's not even like the commissioner yet. He's already doing that. They're already meeting up. It's like they're already tight way before he gets to this power ship of commissioner. But yeah, they were solving shit together. Like, they were boys. Like, they were questioning the Penguin together. Like, Batman didn't just do his solo act like he's normally known for. He told Gordon, like, you know, where to be and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was awesome. And it was also Gordon cooperating with the Batman. Like, I feel like that's what made the detective thing flow.
He's like, you didn't need, you could have held up your punch a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like, I did.
I was coming back. And I was like, oh.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so, you know, all this stuff. So let's get into the ending. You know, what do we think is going to happen with Riddler meeting Joker? What do you guys think?
You're nothing but my best friend. That's what I'm going to start thinking.
First off, without even seeing the Joker, just with his voice and how he acted, I feel like he did a pretty good job. Whoever it was.
I think it was...
He answered Riddler with the fucking Riddler. With the fucking Riddler with the riddle. I was like, that's fun. He's like, a friend. Meanwhile, I'm just like, what the hell's the answer?
Yeah. It wasn't the answer a friend?
Yeah, the answer was a friend.
The answer was a friend.
So I was like, that's pretty cool. It's definitely going to influence Riddler. In my opinion, what I think is going to happen is they're not going to exactly be teammates. You know, they're not going to be they might not work together, but Riddler's definitely going to change. Riddler's going to change because of Joker.
Yeah.
Like, Joker's going to change him from not doing what he thinks is right to, like, help the city. It's going to be more of, like, help ruin the city.
Yeah, like, your rules are pretty good, but it's ruined the city with
Riddler's kind of like, Riddler's like, Joker's like, I like your play, but, you know, that's not the right play. You know, like...
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did he tell him in the end? I was like, don't be sad, don't cry. Gotham loves a comeback, right?
Yeah, Gotham loves a comeback story.
And I was like...
And Joker's the king of comeback stories for how many times... I would say Batman's a better comeback story. How many damn Batmans we had.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think is going to happen, Murph?
I think that they're not going to be, like, together in the next movie. I think that they're going to try and get in a different villain for the next movie. But maybe the third one, if it does go this long, the third one, if it does go that long.
I mean,
then we'll get.
I'm just gonna assume
dynamic.
they're in prison for a while. So
Yeah.
if they're not the main villain, I think it might show like a prison scene with them talking.
Exactly.
For all we know, how do you call it? The second one could just be another villain, and then the third one could just be based on Arkham.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
would love the
Yeah.
next villain to be Bane, to explain why that serum was there.
Bane, yeah, that could be.
Or Mr. Freeze. Dude, Mr. Freeze would be awesome.
Mr.
but
Freeze would
Bane
be
awesome,
amazing.
too.
But yeah, no, if they go with the third one, I would like to see the third one to be in Arkham Asylum. Like,
Yeah.
and that's when you see some of the characters that he put away, and then some new ones that have already been there, like the Joker.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm in no rush to see Joker in any other
Could
film
be
right now.
Scarecrow too. But yeah, let's just go right into it. You know, what's next for DC? You know, will we finally have a good enough Batman where we can progress the DC universe? I think so.
I think so.
I hope he stays. And based off how this one did, why would you leave?
Yeah.
You know, not only was the plot good, but believe it or not, the fans were actually happy. Usually when you leave a DC movie, everyone's just kind of a little grumpy, you know. Well, when people left this one, some people were like smiling and stuff, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
I was satisfied.
I was too.
All my friends that I've talked to that have seen this movie, they were very pleased with this.
Yeah.
And they're big DC fans. So like that says a lot about this Batman movie.
This film. So DC, you finally got it.
Holy
You finally got it.
You gotta keep working on it. Work on
Holy
that.
crap!
Holy
DC.
shit, you did
Now,
it.
what do you guys think is going to be the next DC hero? Because we do have Black Adam coming
Yeah,
out.
we have Black Adam. We have.
This is my preemptive analysis. I think Black Adam is going to be one of the best DC movies they ever made.
Yeah.
Dude, Dr. Fate's going to be in there. Hawkman, like, dude, this movie.
Adam.
Like,
No. What's his name?
no, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What's his name?
Oh no, yeah, Black Adam is
Black
the
Adam.
No, but the one that can shrink and
I think it's just Adam.
it's just Adam.
I believe
maybe
so.
Adam.
He's
Yeah,
in it, like, and the fact that I think The Rock is going to kill this role.
We'll see.
The theme song is already a banger. They dropped that shit so early. It's going to be good. I think Black Adam is going to be one of DC's best. Now, is that saying much in terms of other movies? I don't know, but I think it's definitely going to be one of DC's best. And I'm finally glad DC is starting to move forward instead of backwards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the lineup for the DC films are going to go like this: Black Adam, Aquaman, and then The Flash for this year alone.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying Aquaman too.
really?
Not good.
Why not?
Because what's her face is still in there.
Amber Heard's still in there, really?
Yeah, they didn't
So
fire.
I'm not gonna.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Watch it.
I thought they yeeted her.
No, she's still there. I'm a pirate though.
I mean, I'll watch it.
I'll go and watch it because I genuinely liked Aquaman.
I have standards.
Aquaman was a straightforward origin story.
Well, no, I'm not saying that Aquaman was bad. I just have standards.
Yeah. I mean, we'll let you know how it is.
Just let me know how it is.
We'll get you to see it.
It's fine.
So, what do we think is going to be the next, main? Do we think they're going to try and take another shot at Green Lantern? Are they, for the love of God, going to give us fucking Hot Girl? Like, dude, Hot Girl, more like Hot Girl.
Cyborg.
Come on, dude.
Whoa.
Cyborg, they have, a Dr. Fate standalone.
Yeah,
Oh,
finally.
yeah.
Holy
That
shit.
would be
Something
good.
good like that. We'll see.
I hope that they honestly do.
I think they're permanently scarred from Green Lantern.
I
They're CGI. I don't think however much money is going to
I forgot what the name of the black Green Lantern was. Do you guys remember?
I don't remember.
I know.
Let us know in the comments down below.
There's a yellow one.
I forgot his name.
I forgot. It was.
But
He
either
was
way,
Redskin.
either way, I hope they have a proper Green Lantern this time.
I don't think they're gonna do Green
No
Lantern.
offense to Ryan Reynolds, but Jesus.
He has regrets too. He has regrets too.
Well, was it just him or was it the script as well? That's the question. Now.
Yeah,
I think it was both.
I'm pretty sure it was the
I
script.
think it was. I think it was D. All the above because I don't think they're gonna do Green Lantern. I think Green Lantern won't be a good movie.
I want to see a Martian Manhunter movie. To be honest with you,
good.
They did show him in
In
the
Justice
one,
League,
the
yeah.
Zack Snyder
Dude,
edition.
Green Lantern, you need to spend 98% of your budget on CGI just to have a decent animation. For an entire movie, I don't think that
Unless
they would
they
want
make-
to spend
oh,
the
no.
amount of money on that.
I mean, there's times where he's not glowing, and unless the costume looks good,
well,
then they
all
can
his
make
moves are just,
But
CGI.
yeah, move-wise,
like,
yeah, it's gonna be.
I think
CGI.
it's too much money. I don't think they're going to do it. I mean, maybe eventually, because right now, who knows what their budget is. But I think Black Adam's going to be good. I think they finally understand to not do Justice League and then do a standalone movie.
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't know why they even did that in the first place.
I don't know why either.
Yeah, they
maybe
rushed into that
maybe
one.
they
Yeah.
thought that their characters were already established.
Origin story, and then team up movie.
Listen, DC, just copy Marvel's homework. You
Yeah.
don't have to copy it to a T, but they're clearly doing something right.
You can mix up the wording, but like take a page from Marvel's book.
I would love a Martian Manhunter movie.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter is badass. It would be able to incorporate, Justice League. They kind of threw Apocalypse out of left field. Like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
Like, if they just, Mars is a little bit more closer. Who knows where Apocalypse is actually in the DC universe? I think some incorporation with, terrestrials would be pretty good, but not overwhelm the audience. We know who Martian Manhunter is. He's badass.
Yeah.
And I think we need just more aliens than Superman.
Yeah, honestly.
We gotta keep up with the trio here. Like, they changed Hawkgirl to Cyborg. And I mean, that's okay.
But
But he was literally.
it's Hawkgirl.
It's hard. But at the same time, anything they try to add into like a film that's like, like Justice League, they're just adding random characters in there.
Yeah.
Without like any backstory.
Yeah, and they don't have equal representation across
Exactly.
the board.
Not like because Wonder Woman already had some representation. Batman had some. Superman had the most.
Dude,
And that's
Wonder
it.
Woman's throwing full level punches and the dude's not even flinching. Superman just goes doink, and the guy goes across the fucking
So-
map, dude.
Fix your power scaling too, DC. It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, this is like
It's not all. It's not called Superman Justice League. It's called Justice League.
Yeah, I think Martian Manhunter.
Well,
Don't
watch your
nerf-
animated series.
Now, keep this in mind. Don't nerf Superman, but increase the power of all the rest of
Yeah,
them.
and to the point of Black Adam, he has power also through magic. And Superman's not only weak to kryptonite, he's also weak against magic because on his
magic
planet
from
they're
other worlds.
on his planet, even though he was there for just a short time, there was no magic. So how could they build up a resistance to magic when there is none? So he gets here, and Black Adam has super strength. He's kind of like Shazam, but evil. And I think that would be a good fight for Superman. And I assume Shazam's gonna be thrown in there with his fake muscles to do something. Who knows?
I could just see them facing each other. And I was like, I'm gonna show you some real muscle.
That Shazam with
Because
this
the
fake.
Rock is all.
Dude, The
organic.
Rock is all The Rock's just like. I hope they make a joke to that. He's like, are those fake muscles? No. Like,
No.
no. But yeah, so we'll go into the ending ratings. Adrian,
I think
down
it's
or up?
No, it went up. I think it's buy-worthy.
Yeah.
The steel case is nice.
If the
Yeah, the steel case.
They've
is
been
nice.
slacking on the steel case, I'm not gonna lie. But
They have
honestly,
been.
I think it's buy-worthy. It's a good Batman film. It did way better than the last few ones that we've had, or any Batman-related film. And I think it's worthy. If you just see him as just Vampire Boy, Twilight Boy, whatever, you're in for a surprise because
Definitely.
he really put everything into being Batman in this film, and I think he did a
You
really
could
good job.
you definitely feel his effort.
Exactly.
For me, I would definitely see it again. It was a good movie. Are they gonna do little Easter eggs like Marvel or other franchises where they throw in little secrets of who's the next villain or future things to come? Probably not. However, I would like to focus more on the riddles because it was like riddle and then Batman immediately solved it. I would like more time now that I know the riddles to think about it and stuff like that and the progression. And you can definitely, I'd see it again just for like an analytical standpoint and for my enjoyment. I enjoyed it. You could dissect it again and find enjoyment in several different ways. Like, everything about that movie was essentially good. What about you, Mark?
Well,
Here we go.
I think this is the first time that we've all had different ratings.
I think this is the first time we've all given a thumbs up on a fucking DC movie.
Yeah, this is the first time for everything.
Yeah,
but,
for real.
But no, I enjoyed the movie. However, there was a lot of downtime. It didn't need to be a 3-hour movie, to be honest with you.
And Endgame was 3 hours, but there was a billion characters.
Exactly.
Batman is just one dude.
Yeah, and even then, like, there were parts that I didn't think that needed to be in there. So that, for me, it was a once is good enough.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I would say I'm glad Batman just didn't have to beat everybody. It's like he only fought when he had to, you know?
Exactly.
He composed to, like, everyone's like, now talk. And he's like, his arm's freaking broken and his neck's snapped. It's like, now talk. So
Yeah, he's trying to beat up the Riddler through their glasses, like, what have you done? What have you done? You know, whoa, Jesus.
and the Riddler's like
went flying.
and the Riddler's you're just watching that, you're just thinking, fuck this guy, dude.
Yeah.
Before you, it's like
You're lucky this mirror's holding me back.
it's like the Riddler's whole point is like you can kind of see why he's doing it, but at the same time it's like, does he need to go about it in that way?
Yeah.
And then the whole point of bringing up Bruce Wayne's dad and how he's not exactly a ray of sunshine 24/7, and how Alfred's whole point is like he did regret what he did. He didn't think he would kill him. However, you know, you're going to a damn mob boss. Like, come on, bro.
Honestly, yeah.
What did you think? It's like, you know, not to protect his image, but to protect his mom. It's like, okay, you know, it's like his dad's not this golden idol that Bruce thought he was.
Yeah.
But
What did Alfred call him? A Boy Scout. There you go.
yeah, he wasn't a Boy Scout, but he did have, like, he kind of was. You know, he wasn't all bad. You know, everyone has baggage,
Yeah.
and that's just what it was. But with that, thank you guys for listening in. You know, as always, we appreciate you being a part of the conversation. Let us know, did DC actually do it right?
Yeah.
Did they literally do it?
For once in their lives,
Do
they
you-
actually do it right.
Do you think we can finally have a Batman staple where we can move on? Dude, DC's had been around, you know, movie-wise, almost, if not longer than Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And yet Marvel's a lot more ahead. Now, is that because, you know, Disney bought them, you know, keeping those checks going to roll things out? I don't think so. I think it's mostly due Kevin Feige's leadership, and you know Stan Lee's involved.
Yeah,
you know, he wrote it. Like a lot of DC stuff. I don't know if the writers, like, if they're passed away or like what they're doing, but I think they would get more involved. You know, like the fact that they're redoing Star Wars, George Lucas is getting involved more with it. Like, I think the fact that Disney is willing to pull the resources to get the job done, while DC's fine with just scraping along. I think they need to cut this attitude out.
Yeah.
DC needs to stop worrying about making money and actually progress their narrative. Because as much as we bag on them, we do want to see them do good.
Yeah, let us know in the comments section down below what you guys think. Are we geniuses?
Or, you know, are we fucking idiots? Which we're not. This is all facts. This is facts. Facts, guys, facts. You know, let us know. It's really what, you know, make sure you follow us on Instagram. Well, we're going to be doing stuff more on Twitch, you know, YouTube. You know, we got a green screen. Hopefully we can figure this shit out. In all honesty. We're new, you know. And remember, you can be nerds out about anything, but we're nerds about everything. Catch you later.
Peace. Later.